So, after all the news about all the interstellar goings on that you can see in the UK for a change as opposed to up north, I said to Carol that I'd take her for a trip to see the Northern Lights, but she was a bit disappointed. Personally, I don't see what's wrong with going to the A629 junction at Huddersfield. Seems fine to me.
Hey, treat mean, keep keen.
Yeah. This morning I stood in front of I stood naked in front of the mirror, and I thought to myself, any moment now I'm going to get kicked out of this newsagents. Anyway, hello everyone, and welcome to the Black Dog episode 123. I'm Lee.
I'm Darren.
I'm Jim.
I'm Elton.
And this week we will be seeing how everyone's week's going, if there's anything going on, and then we'll do quite a bit of feedback for, what was it again?
Money Plane.
Oh, that's right, Money Plane. Yeah, we're going to do a bit more of Money Plane. And then we'll move on to this week's movie, which is Stakeland, which I don't have any special effects for, but I think I could probably do... There you go. That'll do. That's that. Stakeland.
But I'm going for a cooking sizzle, but never mind.
That's true. Yeah, I might just have to dig that up in between. But before we get to all of that, let's find out how everyone's week's been. And Jim, we'll start with you as ever. How are you? How you been, mate?
Not too bad. Last week I had the week off chemo, so that was actually nice.
No, right.
Not to have radiation poisoning.
Strangely enough.
Yeah, but I did been holding off a cold, and I had blood tests today to see how I was for starting the second cycle, and apparently I got neutropenia, which is a very low white cell count. Oh, right. Which means my temperature goes to a certain point, I'm going to hospital.
Right. So we'll keep it low down and chilled today.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm saying no, I've not had a high temperature. I mean, it's one that to warn you about. That's I've not had anything like that. But other than say this, like a runny nose and just feeling quite very very tired. But the low blood cell count will explain that. So
yeah,
no more chemo for me until the middle of March now.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, because if you give me any more, the white cells will drop even further and I'll get every infection that just passes by, basically.
Right, okay. Got to catch them all.
Well, exactly. Or not got to catch them all.
Yes, exactly.
As it was, so. But yeah, so... yeah, so that's deferred for a while, which I'm not too sorry about in a way, but he's dragging it out at the same time, so bit of a mixed blessing there.
Yeah, 6 and 1, half a dozen the other. Take the wins where you can, Jim.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, not doing an awful lot. I've done a lot of napping, and I've been playing a stupid mobile game called King's Throne.
Right, okay.
It's kind of one of these sort of management games where you're a king or a queen. You can choose either sex of a medieval kingdom. It's quite nicely done because rather than being the usual CGI, it's all kind of like almost like classic comic book art.
Oh, right, yeah.
And you have your kingdom and you get tributes, which you can then spend to get gold to spend to upgrade your knights. And the more you do, you get more knights and you can go fight battles. There's jousting tournaments every day. You have to go on processions to keep everybody happy to show you're a king.
Right.
And you can go lay siege to castles, and there's tons of different stuff to do and stuff to juggle. But what kind of tickled me about this game is as a monarch, you're expected to have heirs, but in this, you don't get married. You just have consorts.
Oh, okay.
Right. So throughout the game, you sort of, as you sort of go up levels and do various things, you unlock various companions who will come live in your palace, basically in a section of the palace, which is essentially a harem.
Oh.
However, as you can play, you can choose to be male or female, and your consorts also be male and female. So, polysexuality, you can do what you like here.
Yep. Not always going to result in an heir, though, is it, really?
Well, the game doesn't care about that. I mean, because I just skipped with the get-up and ended with the queen, and all the consorts are female, so I've got a huge lesbian harem, but I've got like 30-odd kids now.
Wow. Wow.
Well, you get to pay visits to the consorts, and you have stupid little sub-games, which improves intimacy. And when you get to a certain point, they're appearing like slightly less clothes. There's only like one level to it. It's not that revealing. It's probably a big wow if you're 14. But if you're me, I've turned off that bit just to get through it quickly. You get the experience up. Come on.
Yep.
But the thing, what amuses me is kind of on one hand, there's kind of a bit sort of salacious bit to it. But the thing is, you end up with kids, and kids cost you money. You have to raise money to raise them, and then you've got to find something for them to do. Now, if they're skilled enough, you can actually put them in charge of castles and or marry them off. However, all my kids, all the children, when they get to a certain age, they get a rating when they're marriable age. Most of mine are either feeble-minded, disappointing, and the best one I've produced so far is mediocre. I can't marry the bastard off. He's eating out of house and home.
Elton, do you want to fill him in on the realities of these things?
Well, I think this is what tickles me, because on one hand it has this sort of lots of you got lots of consorts and they appear in a sexy fashion, but then you end up with a load of kids you have to look after. I thought whoever made this had a sense of humour.
Yeah,
I'll teach you horned young bastards a thing or two.
Yeah,
not so good now, is it? Now you've got 30 useless kids who are all feeble-minded and useless, so you're stuck with.
Yep. Funny enough, I've been saying that for the last 18 years.
It's like a real life generator.
I was going to say, it feels like you found a cheat code for life there, Jim.
Your life in the game.
What's it called?
It's called King's Throne.
King's Throne.
Game of Conquest.
Yeah, normally King's Throne is when I'm sitting there doing these games. But that's neither here nor there.
Well, it is sort of quite amusing. The other thing is that there's all these different characters you can recruit, and there's kind of some who sound a bit familiar, like an archer called Robin, a big tall fellow called John Little.
Oh, right. Fair enough.
There's a writer in the town. There's a writer in the town called Lefanu, and one of your consorts called Camilla.
Right.
And there's all these little in-jokes to all various sort of people from the past who turn up as characters.
Nice.
Which I thought is quite fun. And so it's all the art is in sort of pretty much sort of classic comic book style, which gives it a bit of a different look to a lot of other these sort of games. But you can waste an awful lot of time on it, put it that way.
Yes.
Especially when you've got to marry off so many bloody kids and no one wants them because they're all useless lumps and thick as two sharp planks and can't do anything.
Yeah, nobody wants to take on a sullen teenager with the emotional range of a dead plank of wood.
Basically, you have to load them up with jewelry and money to get someone to marry them.
Take them away.
This is actually very realistic to medieval life and got politics.
Well, it's very, very realistic to just life full stop. I think if I do, Jim.
Yeah.
It's not really pushing the boundaries in terms of experience. I'm be honest with you. But cool. Okay. So
if you've got a time waster, give it a look. It's just a bit of a chuckle.
Nice. That sounds good. Cool. Anything else, sir?
No, I'll leave it.
Okay,
that, I think.
Fair enough. That's cool. And over to you then, Elton. What's going on with you, sir?
Well, I think the most exciting thing that happened to me was a man fell off a bike right next to me.
Right.
And I may have been partially responsible for this.
Right.
But I wasn't. Honest, Gov. Really wasn't.
For the purposes of legality,
you
had nothing to do with it.
Well, I was walking the dog,
Mm.
and I had my headphones in, and I was just listening to a podcast really quiet as well, so I could hear around me.
Mm.
And all of a sudden, the dog lead went slack behind me. I was like, oh, okay. So I spun around, had a look, and all of a sudden, there's a bike behind me, and there's a man on the bike pedaling as slowly as he could because my dog was taking interest in what he was doing. What was that program with all the scramblers that used to do? Was it Kickstart?
Yes.
Kickstart,
Yeah. You know them bits where the bike stops on the tree trunks and they look like they're going to fall off, so they stick a leg out and they turn the handlebars and they get back control.
Bunny hop.
Yeah. This guy was doing this on his push bike, or probably on his wife's push bike,
Right.
and he got to a point where he wasn't moving forwards anymore.
Oh,
And then Jock took umbrage to his front wheel. He was like, no, I'm going to bite that now.
Oh, no.
So
No.
he went for it. And then this guy just looked at me, looked at the dog, and then realised he'd stopped moving.
Yep.
And so then he fell to his left-hand side.
Just fell sideways into the bush.
like a tree.
Did you shout timber as he went down? You got to shout timber. You know, you got to warn people.
That's right. It's the only way to do it. Go on. So he went sideways straight into a bush.
No, it wasn't even it was straight onto the road.
Oh, right. Okay.
We were both in the road where I was walking. There are no pavements at all, and so you have no choice but to walk in the road. And there's very few cars around there because it's like the village centre. But yeah, he kind of just went stage left and met the ground very, very quickly.
Laters.
Nice.
And then got up. He went, "Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I didn't ring my bell."
Nice.
Who was this, Leslie Phillips?
I do say I'm terribly sorry.
Yeah, Terry Thomas.
What a shower.
It wasn't even my fault. He blamed himself. Brilliant.
Wow.
How English can you get?
I know.
It's so English. It's just like, yep, no, sorry, your dog has attacked my my bike. I've appeared to have crashed and slit all my major arteries, but I'm terribly sorry for bleeding over your shoes. Nice.
I must apologise if my front tyre has offended your animal.
Beautiful.
Please accept my wallet full of money as a way of apology.
Yeah.
It's all terribly, terribly, nastily, horribly,
Terribly.
sticky and icky and terribly, terribly.
Oh, dear.
Whatever
Right.
shall we do?
What should we do, Nab? What shall we do? I don't know.
I don't know. I have no idea. It's all ghastly.
We just lay here until the man with the ghastly dog leaves.
Don't move, Ethel.
Play dead.
Play dead. Pretend you are dead. Blend in like I showed you this morning.
Remember,
His vision is based on movement.
They do not attack if you stay still. Yeah.
We seem to have performed a faux pas on a two-wheeled vehicle.
Play possum, Barbara. Play possum.
Try not to look like meat.
Oh, they'll never take us down at the Derby and Jones Club ever again. We'll get through this. Don't worry.
Marjorie,
I should speak to Forbisham of the parish council. He can fix it for us.
Marjorie, I've never been quite so embarrassed. Stop bleeding.
Marjorie, I don't want to worry you, but I'm feeling slightly aroused.
Well, I never. That dog appears to be performing all sorts of unmentionables upon your ankles. Just stay still. Let it finish, just like I've taught you. Once he is left, we shall clean up and say no more about it.
Once you feel a warm glow on your feet, we can move on and never speak of this ever again.
Pleasure the dog. Pleasure the dog. Anyway.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, in the best way of a Sun reporter from the 90s, we made our excuses and left.
Again.
Yeah.
Marjorie, make your excuses and leave.
Good day, sir. I said good day, sir.
Anyway.
Oh, dear.
Right.
Yeah, so that was it. That's what happened to me.
That's it. That's it.
I'm peaked. I ain't beating that one. That's it. I'm done.
I think Martin Thompson's got a nice easy week this week after last week's Black Dog without context. He's on.
It's very last of the summer wine round my way sometimes.
Is there people just randomly going downhill on bathtubs?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Every now and again.
just rolling on past. All right. Okay. Well, and on that note, bathtubs, old people rolling down. I don't know where we're going. Darren, how's your week?
Well, a lot less
Reporting
exciting
from a
than Elton's.
bathtub.
Yeah, I'm going downhill on a bathtub.
I'm afraid I didn't have any run-ins with any kindly old gentlemen on bicycles at all. No, not at all. Not at all. This week, I did go to said cinema, and I watched the latest offering from that little-known company called Marvel.
Okay.
So I went to see Ant-Man and his Wasp.
Oh, yes.
Yes, I did. Yes, and the Quantumania. That little picture. Yeah, it was all right.
Yeah?
It was all right, yeah. It was good. Pretty, I mean, it was a much better offering than they've kind of had recently.
It's not a large, not a tall bar to get over, let's be honest.
No, it is a very, very low bar. So, yeah, entertaining film. I'm a bit confused as to what people were expecting. There's a lot of people go, "Oh, it's a lot of CG, and isn't there? A lot of CG." It's like, have you actually sat and watched the film? Have you, because you do realise that they're in the quantum universe, right? And it's supposed to be super duper fantastic and shit. And there's only so much you can do with practical effects, you knobhead. So, that's why there's a lot of CG, because, there has to be.
Yeah.
That's it. Plain and simple. Why are you complaining? If they turned out he did a complete fucking 1970s Doctor Who job on it, you'd be complaining that, the quality of the effects has gone down, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, look at all those other films that managed to do this and this and that. Look, there's Ant-Man. Just actually when he shrinks, he's gone down on his knees. That's what he looked like. The fucking shrinking effects were fucking shit. Yes.
All they've done is built a really big chair, stuck it beside him.
It's like he's got an action figure between two fingers. He's like, "Hello, I'm Ant-Man."
He's got his shoes on his knees.
Yeah.
They put shoes on his knees. And giving him a really big umbrella.
Yeah, Toulouse-Lautrec is Ant-Man. There we go.
Yeah.
So, it's it's a nice little opener for, is it the 5th phase now?
Mm-hmm.
I think so, yes. 5th phase in the quarter of the moon on the left of Sagittarius. That one.
Right.
So, Jonathan Majors as Kang, very good as well.
Yeah. That's the only thing I've heard. That's the only thing I've heard mainly is that he's all right.
Yeah, he's okay. It's, I don't know. I wouldn't say that this version of Kang is really kind of going to threaten the Thanos at all, because I still thought that performance, what's his name, Josh Brolin, was very good as Thanos. He's not better than him. I don't care what anybody says. It's he's still got a way to go. But of course, there are many Kangs. There are many Kangs.
Are there?
We'll see. Oh yes, they're all lining up Just over there's a queue of them. There's a queue waiting to get in.
It's going to be more. It's going to be more. No, I'm not going to do that joke.
No,
they've tried to they've tried to cut it out of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I'm not going to fucking do it. No. Anyway, no,
not at all.
No.
So yeah, I mean, you might want to wait until it comes on to Disney Plus.
I fully intend to at this point.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
watch it when it goes on to there. So yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
What else did we do this weekend? Went bowling.
Right.
Went bowling in one of the local bowling establishments in Woking. Yes,
okay.
Indeed. Very loud place. Lots of kids screaming and stuff. And,
do they have that in King's Throne, Jim? Bowling alleys?
Thankfully not.
Oh, right. Just checking.
Dungeons.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Dungeon pause. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
So, half decent score.
Yeah.
They've changed the rules in those places as well. You don't have to actually wear the Veruca-ridden bowling shoes anymore. No. As long as you've got a decent pair like trainers on, then you're kind of good to go. Really.
Yeah.
Don't bring your tap dancing shoes because they won't allow that. But yeah, if you just wear a pair of trainers, it looks like they allow that now in bowling alleys.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. First I've heard of it.
Okay.
But there you are.
It's gone right downhill now, hasn't it?
What, the podcast or just or the bowling?
Bowling alleys, letting anyone wear their shoes, outdoor shoes on the indoor surface.
God, next thing
Disgusting.
Next thing
Dress codes are perishing everywhere.
Exactly. Yeah. Next thing you know, they'll be letting people under the age of 60 on bowling greens. Jesus, the world's gone to the dockers. I'm telling you.
Oh, I tell you, we got a bunch of those reprobates around here.
What, 60-year-olds?
Yeah, 60-year-olds on bowling. We got a bowling green, just not very far from my house.
You got senile delinquents.
Yeah, exactly. Bloody ruffians. Oh,
coming around here with their mobility scooters, fucking tearing up the roads.
Go, get off my lawn. You've done your back in. Oh, I'm ever so sorry.
And until they have that calming effect of looking at you and going, "Come with us." And you're like, me?
What, me? You want me to go to?
And then you look around, you look behind you. Look, you're talking to me. Me? You'd like me to go with you?
It's like the end of Close Encounters.
It is. Or is it?
Richard Dreyfuss goes off into the sunlight.
Well, what's up with the old people and the aliens? What the fuck is that?
Old people
Cocoon.
alien.
Cocoon. That's it. Yes. Something like that.
Yeah, Steve Guttenberg sitting in a swimming pool with Raquel Welch's daughter.
Of his own tears.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it.
As he gets the 5th rejection from the local panto.
Yeah, thinking, this is it. Oh, this is all I'm going to be famous for. This and fucking Police Academy. Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah. Even that bloke who does the helicopter noises is more famous than me.
Yeah. Even he had a bit more of a career. He at least made 3 films. So there we go.
Exactly. We're not doing not doing those films. We're not doing Police Academy films.
So we're not doing the
why not?
I don't know, because someone will bring up Mission to Moscow and I'll hate myself so much. There's no need for that.
No, we should do that. We should hit this one. I think we should do a Fast and Furious and Police Academy season. Right, 1 week we watched the first Police Academy, we watched the first Fast and Furious, and we watched the first Police Academy. Then we watched the second Fast and Furious, and then the second Police Academy,
and see which one reaches space first.
Yeah, we have sanity tennis. You see, well, which one? When are we going to break? At which point are one of us going to just lose it?
Yeah, gonna blackball the option. That's it.
Yep.
Each of us has a blackball, and then you can just blackball the episode, or you just go, no, I'm not going to be in that fucking pile of shit. I'm not watching that.
Or what's that? That's fucking It's a Knockout, where you play the Joker.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah. So you can all play. Yeah, we'll all have one Joker.
Yep.
And then you can only play it once, and we'll have to go through 10 Fast and the Furious movies and 10 bloody Police Academy movies. That'll be an entire year of just Police Academy and Fast and the Furious.
Well, it's all about family.
I don't remember Mahoney saying that.
No, that was Hightower.
Hightower, yeah, that's it. Oh God. Yeah, no, that would be insane. I think that's when if I finally approve that and we watch Fast and the Furious followed by Police Academy movies for an entire year of this podcast, I think that'll be the moment everyone could willingly put me in home.
That's at least 60 weeks covered if we do that, okay? Because that's how many films there are.
Yeah, and
you're under arrest.
Yeah, hold on, she's going to do the voice. Oh, don't move, dirtbag. Oh, I will laugh the 67th time that happened.
I think it's great that they let Bono star in those films as well. You know, is that one that screams a lot?
Bobcat Goldthwait.
Yeah, no, it's Bono, wasn't it? Wasn't that Bono? I thought it was Bono. No, looks a lot like Bono. Are you sure it wasn't Bono from the 80s?
This is my beat now with a Swiss on no name.
Fucking hell. Oh well.
What can't buy?
When love comes to town, I'm gonna catch the plane. Edge coming for your dinner. What a stupid fucking name is Edge. Anyway,
he has the edge.
Bono in Police Academy, right? Yeah. Anything else, sir?
God, you've got me thinking of that fucking Rock Profiles where they had Bono in the edge, and he takes his hat off, and he's got a tiny little hat underneath his hat.
What was that on?
Oh, that
Rock
was
Profiles.
Rock Profiles. It's where they did the one with Shirley Bassey and Tom Jones, and it doesn't have the range, love. Doesn't have the range.
I
met Tom Jones once. Lovely man.
Yeah. Never mind. I can't even remember what channel that was on.
Oh, it was on BBC Three, I think.
Right, so that's why it was never seen again.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, BBC Three, where comedy goes to die.
Yep.
Anyway, anything else, sir?
No, not really.
Okay, fair enough. Because I haven't got anything. I've got fuck all this week, except for I've got two things. Mm-hmm. One is just a small tiny niggle because I had as a part of my weekend after the carpet's gone down and everything was to rewire the house in a nice neat way of tacking the old internet cables and everything around the skirting board.
Oh God!
Yep.
So what have you done?
No. It's all fine.
Have you destroyed a small community church in Bromley somewhere? Is that what it is? One nail. That's all it was. I don't know what happened.
I just hit it, and next thing you know, there was a hole in the earth. No. Anyway, so so I was doing that, and I did it, and I wired it up, and I wired up the whole house. It's all nice and neat. It's the neatest cabling job I've done in years. Get to the table where the computer is, this computer I'm sitting at now, and I say to Carol, because Carol mainly works on it, I said to her, right, okay, how do you want this table all laid out? And she tells me she wants this there and that there and all that sort of thing. So I get all the cables, and I tie them all nice and neat in cable tidies, and then I clip them to the underside of the desk, and I nail everything around, and I get it all pulled nice and tight so it's not near the radiator and it's not touching any electrical sockets, so we're not getting any feedback. Get it all nicely laid out, all nice and neat. And then Carol looks at me and goes, yeah, where am I going to put all my paperwork? And then it turns out that where I've wired everything up is exactly where all the paperwork's got to go. So I had to unwind the entire thing. So that was about the only slightly domestic DIY thing I had.
Never again.
Which literally just had me rip it all off the walls and just go, fuck! Fuck! Kill it all! Go stand out.
I don't know then.
Stand out in the garden, just swinging my arms around, flailing at the air. Everyone's just looking at me through the windows from the neighbour's house. And the other thing was I watched Skinamarink.
Oh, right, okay. And
Hang on, what version? The version I gave you?
What? No, not that version. No.
Okay.
No. I never watched the weird children paedophile rainbow from a nightmare dimension thing. No, I didn't watch that at all. No, I watched the Shudder original. Did you? Have you? Anyone else watched it?
We started watching it Saturday night and got 10 minutes in and thought, I don't think this is really like Saturday night movie.
No.
And we thought kind of, what we did see, we thought that's very intriguing, unnerving, but intriguing. But we'll come back to that when it's not a Saturday night. We just really want something to go shooty, bang, bang.
Yeah, that's it.
Stuff explodes,
Yeah, I just want to sit there and watch telly and watch something mildly brainless roll across the screen. Yeah. Yeah. I think you have a good measure of it. For those of you who don't know, Skinamarink or Skinamarink, depending on how you want to pronounce it, is a horror film, but it's like a tone poem. There's no real plot, so to speak. Just a lot of very disturbing kind of low-angled child baby cam sort of footage of these two kids who are sort of like just under 6, I would guess. And one wakes up and then wakes up the other one, and then they realise, after hearing a bit of shouting and stuff, that their parents have gone and all the windows are gone, and they're just kind of wandering around this house.
Ooh.
And you just kind of follow them around this house as weird things start to happen. And these little kids, and it's all done in this kind of like infrared, lo-fi kind of 70s video kind of footage.
Yeah, that's the one where I could only watch a few seconds of the actual trailer, because it started, especially when the 70s voiceover man starts talking. It's just kind of like, no, I think I'm all right, thanks. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to go outside and watch the birds and listen to them sing and appreciate the sunshine. And
it's kind of weird, because the thing is, I was up for like, okay, scare the shit out of me, and because I was just I was hoping that I'd see something that was so scary that I'd be able to turn around and come to you guys and go, right, that's what we're doing in October, here we go, I've got my one, damn. But it's weird, it's so much about atmosphere that if you watch it with other people or you watch it with a critical eye, I think it breaks the spell.
Got you.
So that's why when you were saying like, don't watch it, you weren't going to watch it on a Saturday night when you want shooty bang bang. It's the same. I think that's absolutely right. I mean, if you watch it and then suddenly turn off the telly and then suddenly, I don't know, Michael McIntyre playing The Wheel or whatever it is suddenly pops up, the spell is broken, gone. And so I found myself watching it and kind of going, oh, I really don't like this. But then also all the way through it thinking, I wonder if this is it. It's just video footage of nothing in particular going on. Oh, pardon me, went a bit Rick and Morty there. Yeah. of nothing in particular going on, but just the way it's filmed, the sound effects, the fact that it's two really small kids wandering around in their pajamas in a house with no windows, and clearly something odd has happened, and you have no idea what's going on. And it's like a kind of extended episode of outtakes from Sapphire and Steel for a lot of it.
Oh God, really?
Yeah. That's it. That's probably the best way I could
Okay.
say. If you watched an episode of Sapphire and Steel, but without Joanna Lumley and was it David McCallum walking around, just looking ominously at each other, and just have that weird kind of static noise, and just occasionally a sound from upstairs or something, and it's all filmed from baby camera height, so it's like 2 inches off the floor. It's just like. Yeah, it's not an easy watch, let's put it that way. But what it's about, I couldn't fucking tell you. I really couldn't. But
Right.
it's not a movie. It's not a movie to watch and expect to come away cheerful or anything like that. But I think we could have a good old chat about it if we all watched it. But
I know my impression of the 10 minutes I saw it did really. It took me back to being a kid, waking up in the middle of the night and looking around. Something that's familiar is now. Can't quite make anything out. It was suddenly getting a bit odd.
yeah,
And it captured that really, really well of hearing noises downstairs and going, "What's that?
Yeah.
The fuck's that?"
yeah, yeah.
And it's kind of. So I thought, we'll come back to this another night when we'll be prepared to go along with the ride with it.
Yeah, I think you have to go in with a mindset of, this is it. The lights are off. The phone's off. There's no interrupting watching the internet or taking a 5-minute coffee break in the middle because you're slightly bored or anything like that. You've got to just sit through it, come out the other end like a ghost ride. But yeah, it's kind of weird tone poem. Skinamarink. It's on Shudder, if anyone's interested. Or it's on limited release around various arty kind of cinemas. I think the Prince Charles is playing it as well. So that's it for me. That's my entire week. Got a little bit miffed at my rewiring, and that's the end of that. What else was I going to say? Oh, and next week I might have more to talk about because I'm going off to the V&A to do some life drawing with Donatello sculptures, nonetheless, on Saturday.
Ooh.
Nice.
So there you go.
Well, at least they won't move.
Well, no, exactly.
You hope.
Well, that's the plan. That's the plan. Oh,
The class isn't at midnight after hours, is it?
yeah, Ben Stiller. or are we with Ben Stiller, or are we talking about some sort of Doctor Who thing going on here? Anyway, either way, I'm going to make sure that if it's after 4:00, I'm out of there. Anyway, so let's move on to some feedback for last week. Now, last week we did the wonderful action heist movie
Money Plane.
Thank you, and we had some reaction to our episode last week. I asked, and people obviously reacted. The first one was from Michael Wilding on the Facebook group, and he said, "Is the Nigerian space prince the guy from Star Wars?"
Which guy from Star Wars?
I
Is
don't.
that the one from Episode 1, A New Hope? Is that a guy from Episode 2? Or episode,
Attack
no,
of the
sorry.
Clones.
Yeah, Attack of the Clones.
He said, "You're never going to forget that, man. We're never going to let you forget it."
What's that distant moaning sound I hear? Coming down Tinternet.
I don't know. I think it's the bloke from Star Wars. I think you may
Which
have
bloke would that be, Lee? Would that be the bloke from Episode 1? Would that be the bloke from Episode 2?
The Attack of the Clones?
Would that be the bloke from Episode 3?
I don't think so. Revenge of the Sith? No.
Would that be the bloke from Caravan of Courage?
Oh no. He's not even from the man from Wiki Ewok Adventure.
Or is that from that series Droids? No?
No, I don't think it is. I don't think it's from the Star Wars story either. Solo.
Is it that rabbit from Star Wars Weekly number 8?
Oh, Jack Stackster. Dexter Jetster, or whatever his name is. No, I don't think it is.
Benedict
Green
Cumberbatch? No? Okay.
Anyway, Michael continued. This film was terrible on so many levels it made no sense whatsoever. The curtains were the only good part in the film. I was crying with laughter when listening to the podcast, so keep up the good work. Thank you very much indeed, Michael Wilding. And David Renane also replies to Michael by saying that, funnily enough, the Nigerian space prince is a picture of, well, there's a picture. Let's just put it that way. Martin Thompson also wrote in to say, to be fair, I thought Kelsey Grammer did a decent job with what he had and probably relished playing a villain, but his plan was just nonsensical and never explained, which is true. Well, I think we got to that. While Chris Johnson wrote in to say that to give us a link from ifuckinglovescience.com saying the scam email about a Nigerian astronaut lost in space is hilarious and real. So that was a thing. while Jeffrey Mark Hyman said, despite your warnings on listening to the episode, it was so much fun that I watched this miserable excuse of a film. It was almost refreshing to see how utterly incompetent nonsense could still be churned out in this day and age. Anne-Marie Organ also said, I have watched some gobshite in my time, but this was ridiculous. At one point I said, that's not how you cut carrots. And Child 2 responded, this movie is not how you do anything. And the body in the shark pool looked like a primary school papier-mâché project. The only good actors were Kelsey Grammer and the dog. Peter Organ wrote in to say, it's cheap as chips and very entertaining. While Martin Thompson comes back again with Harry H. Corbett also gave a scary performance as the thuggish security guard in the 1980 episode of Shoestring.
Did he?
Yeah, he was in Shoestring.
Bloody
oh my
hell,
god.
fire.
Trevor Horn.
Wow.
Trevor Horn, Britain's answer to Bruce Boxleitner. Yes.
Yeah, and also Anne-Marie came back saying she's literally crying with laughter at the latest cast. Top notch, lads. Thank you very much. And Adrian Saunders replies with, hopefully we will see the return of Space Prince, which will occur every 90 minutes. So we'll see what we can do.
There is one. Oh, by the way, Pete
go on.
Organ's posted on the board, showing Sprog 2 some more cheers to remind them that Kelsey Grammer once had a career. Hashtag money plane.
How old? Hashtag
money plane.
Thank you. Money plane.
Money plane.
Yeah, don't fuck with the grouch, my friend.
Don't fuck an alligator either, because people will take bets on it.
Yeah, you want to see a man fucking alligator? Want to see man?
Oh,
Yeah, that was a very interesting episode of Cheers, by the way. That one.
What? Yeah.
Well, they all took bets on a bloke fucking an alligator.
Norm. Anyway, so yes, if anybody else would like to watch, was it
Money plane.
or any other movie that we've done and feedback to us, by all means do so on the Facebook group, which is facebook.com/groups/the Black Dog Podcast, or send it into feedback@blackdogpodcast.com. Also, by the way, another thing, just so you know, ladies and gentlemen, the old episodes, the old version 1 episodes, which I'm not putting out anywhere for anything for anyone. If people do want to listen to specific episodes, I am not beyond digging out an episode and just posting a link specifically for that. But I'm only telling you that because then you can ask me specifically and I can send you the link specifically, because I've been listening back to some of those old ones as I've been archiving it, and whoo-wee, we're getting cancelled. So, so they're not going to go live, but they can be delivered upon request. Let's put it that way. Just get in contact with us on the usual channels. Anyway, right. So that's that for this part. So let's stake up. Let's roll out, and let's wash our mouth out with holy water as we go off into Stakeland.
Money plane.
No, Kelsey. Fuck off. Stakeland. Roll the jingle.
I see it's nearly 5 o'clock. I'm here at home, my work's all done. No question where I'll be tonight, a place of cinematic fun. It's the lockdown, but I will not pout. Oh, my friends, I won't be seeing this out alone. There's Lee and Elton and Jim and Darren, all sitting far apart for social distance. We're at the shut-in cinema, down in the bunker of Shun. Down in the bunker of Shun.
Hey fellas, it's been nearly 5 years. You gonna let me out now or what?
No. Right, so Stakeland is a 2010 American post-apocalyptic vampire survival horror film directed by Jim Mickle and starring Nick Damici, who co-wrote the script with Mickle. It also stars Connor Paolo, Daniela Harris, and Kelly McGillis. Yes, that Kelly McGillis. Welcome to Top Gun.
Was that Kelly McGillis?
Yes.
It was, yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Yep.
Whoa.
That was Kelly McGillis. Yes.
I did not recognise her.
No. I can't say anything. There's nothing I can say that's not going to sound horrible at this point. Anyway, the plot, he's just moving swiftly on, the plot revolves around an orphan young man being taken under the wing of a vampire hunter known only as Mister, and the battle for survival in their quest to find safe haven. Oh, and it looks like my screen's gone off. Ah, there you go. Hey, the power's back on. Well done. The film actually had a budget of $625,000. And was released on September the 17th, 2010. How much do you think it made at the box office, Darren?
I think it made 50 sets of pointy teeth.
Oh, bloody hell.
All going for the teeth.
All going for the teeth.
I couldn't think of anything. I was like, no, I'll just go for the teeth. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. No one else will do that, will they? No.
Okay.
No.
No. Okay then. Elton, how much do you think it made?
Hang on.
10 vampires dropped out of a helicopter.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, no, I can't do that now.
Jesus.
One
sheet.
One disused bus. I don't know.
Right. Jim.
I think it made 3 million bags of weed and dodgy antibiotics.
No, it actually earned 4 vampires falling out of a helicopter into an encampment. No,
not any juice box babies.
No juice box babies. No juice box babies.
Oh,
Were not.
Right. Okay.
No, it actually only made $33,000 from a budget of $625,000. Which makes me wonder how it ended up with quite so many sequels. But that's for another day, for another conversation.
Were there more than one sequel then?
There was Stakeland Origins.
Get this. There's Stakeland 2, Stakelander.
Yep. There is.
Get out of it. What?
Yep. There's webisode prequels. Stakeland The Day I Told My Boyfriend. Stakeland Jebediah. Stakeland Willie. Jim, come on, Jim. Where are you? Come on, bring it back in.
And I'll go for the low-hanging fruit.
Okay, fair enough. Stakeland Sister. Yeah, exactly. Stakeland Willie. Stakeland Martin and Stakeland Mister. Those are all web episodes. But yeah, as Elton rightly points out, there was also Stakeland 2, Stakelander. Right. Okay.
What was the look for that one? Was it Magnum?
I don't.
Was it Blue Moon? Was it? Or...
I don't know.
Well, the sequel was actually a TV movie for Siffy.
Oh, Siffy, yeah, because
Yeah.
sci-fi's long.
Which is why
since
I've never seen it.
There you go. Right, so before we get into any spoilers or any spoiler discussions, let's just have a quick one round the table and find out what everyone thought of it. Jim, as I said off air, you will be going last because it is your pick. So let's start with the king of the post-apocalypse. Let's go to you, Dow, to start with.
Yes.
What did you think of Stakeland?
A film that's really in my wheelhouse, this one. Yeah, I quite enjoyed it. I have seen it before, and I do remember enjoying it the first time I saw it. And you know what? For all its cheapness, it was still a better love story than Money Plane. So, yeah.
Right, okay. Fair enough. Okay. Elton, what about you?
I quite enjoyed it, actually. I like the world that they built. I like the vampires in it, which is strange for me because I don't really like the vampires normally. And I thought they all came together very well. So I enjoyed it.
Okay. I found it a mixed bag, I'll be honest with you. On the one hand, I like the concept. On the other hand, I found there was a lot of how can I put this? It felt very episodic. It felt like it was a TV show. I didn't find out about the webisodes until just now, but it felt like it was a TV show masquerading as a movie because it just seemed like they kind of went from point to point, encountered a issue or vampires, solved the issue, then drove on their merry way, and then we had it wash, rinse, repeat again. So, on the one hand, I enjoyed it because it's a sort of B movie with aspirations and ideas, and I quite like that. But there's a lot about it where I was kind of like, okay, I can see this coming. And sure enough, what happened. And so it's not really pushing any boundaries, which is not necessarily for everything. But, you know, it's just I was expecting a little bit more. And also, the other thing, the fucking sound mix. I don't know if anyone else was having the trouble with this, but the main character going, things going on and all this sort of thing. And then all of a sudden, they'd be like, the only problem was the damn vampires. Vampire! Fucking vampire! I don't know what was going to happen. It's like, oh, for fuck's sake, man. My volume was up and down like my volume was up and down like a slinky on a bungee rope. It was just like, what the fuck was going on there? But apart from that, yes. Overall, I think I liked it. I just don't think I think I was expecting a little bit more, but yeah, it was all right. It was all right for what it was, I thought. Jim, what about you?
I really enjoyed this movie. I think it was I quite like kind of what Larry Fessenden and Jim Mickle do. I've seen a few of their movies, and they're all made for nothing, but they're a perfect example of how you should approach a low budget film. Is you write a proper script. You think it through, you work out your shots. You get some people who can act. You know what I mean? And it's kind of, they always have a very interesting sort of very low key take on things. There's another one that's kind of like a zombie apocalypse where people are turning into like rat monsters, called Mulberry Street, and then another one called Late Phases, which is about a retired cop who ends up tangling with a werewolf in his neighborhood.
Right.
And they're really sort of, I think, very sort of character driven and very interesting. So I mean, I've not seen this since it came out in 2010, and so watching it now is kind of yeah. Naughty Dog watched this, didn't you?
Yeah. To be quite honest, Naughty Dog, and that sort of stuff. I don't know. There was Girl with All the Gifts before this. And I think that had a closer relationship with Last of Us than Stakeland. But I do take a point. But yeah, I take your point though. Yeah,
I think Girl with All the Gifts that was later.
Was it?
Yeah. 2014. Girl with All the Gifts.
Right. Okay.
Mm.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
That's me told.
Mm.
Yeah, I would try and look up the date of Last of Us was released, but there's been so many fucking remasters of it. It's very hard to actually work out what date it was ever released. Anyway, hold on, 2013,
I believe.
2013. Yes, there you go. Well, there you go. Interesting. Anyway, before we get into a Babylon 5 Deep Space Nine kind of situation.
Can I just say, I had a kind of a Mel Smith moment of the week where Girl with All the Gifts was concerned. Because I think I upset the author.
Oh.
I met him. He signed my book.
Right.
And we were just chatting about it. I said, yes, I really enjoyed it. Love it. I said, I was a little bit disappointed you didn't include this certain thing in it, right? Because I thought it was one of the things that made it stand out above other zombie movies. And he disagreed with me completely. And I got the feeling that I had been dismissed. So I just went, it's like, shit.
That's a shame because we've got him on the podcast and here he is. Anyway, yeah. So I should cancel that booking then, is what you're saying.
Well, he did sign my book. Well, he didn't sign it. He scrawled "fuck off" in the pages. I thought he'd signed it. He shut the thing, and that was it.
Yeah.
No, he didn't. He actually did sign it. He was very good. Thank you. Yeah.
Girl with all that dick written across the thing. Anyway,
a bag of dicks. Yeah.
So go on. Sorry, Jim.
So I mean, I think it's one of the most interesting vampire movies that have been made of late, and particularly when this came out, I think it kind of got a lot of attention because yes, this is what vampires like, those sparkly fops.
Yeah, definitely.
But it just seems to have sort of fallen by the wayside a bit in more recent years, which I think is a shame because I think on this movie, I think quietly influential, shall we say?
Yeah, I think. I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, before we get into the spoilers, is it a film that could stand a proper big budget remake, do you think? Not taking away from this film, but I'm just saying, like, there's certain things in this film, in Stakeland, where, as Jim's just rightly pointed out, they work to their budget, they do the smart choices with the film, but you could almost see that if they had like a little bit more money or a lot more money, they could do a fuckload more with it.
Well, that's the problem, isn't it? To give you an example, to try and explain what I mean, if you take a look back at computer games in the past, right? On systems like the ZX Spectrum. Let's go right to that basic, right? They didn't have much
everyone,
in the way of...
Settle down, here we go.
They didn't have much in the way of...
listeners.
They didn't have much in the way of resources to play with, so they had to get creative, right? And as soon as you started getting better technology, then you see kind of people getting lazy, because they're not having to be creative anymore. They've got so much resource. It's like today, I read an article about it recently, about how the technology's got to a point now where they can do just about anything with computer games. They've got so much resource to play with that they don't have to think about what they're doing. And I think this is the same about films like this. You take a really good indie film and you say, I'm going to remake it, we're going to give it a big budget, we're going to give it to a big studio, I think you'll find that it'll probably come out a worse product. Because they're not having to get creative. They're not having to think of stuff to put in there to make it interesting or whatever. Like the whole thing of dropping zombies into a compound from a helicopter. I mean, Jesus Christ, that's a great idea, right? Love that kind of thing. I don't think you'd get that kind of creativity with a big budget version of this. If you do, then you're very lucky. I think.
Yeah, but, I suppose that's the problem, isn't it? The more money, that means the more producers are involved, and the more people have to filter the decisions.
Yeah. It's that whole thing of things are a lot better when you're restricted. That's it. From a creativity point of view, that's it. You've got to work within a small box to get this thing done.
And
right?
That's why I'm recording this podcast while in full bondage gear hanging from the ceiling.
Exactly. There you are.
Yes.
Yeah. Sometimes it's good to not think outside the box. In fact, Lee, don't come outside the box, mate, until
I'm
you're
in the box.
probably dressed.
I'm in the box.
I don't want to go back in the case. Got the gear.
Let me work in the box. Does everyone else agree with that, though, Elton?
Well, moving it on to like the bigger screen, just throwing more money at it doesn't mean it's going to be a better product at the end. You need to use that money wisely and in the correct fashion. And I think if you remade this, I still think you'd end up with a road movie which feels like it is has parts to it instead of one flowing movie. It's a road movie, and so you're gonna trip up on people on your journey. That is the essence of a road movie. You come along, you see someone, something happens, shit goes down, you run off and repeat again and again and again. So I don't know if throwing money at it would work. And as Darren said, as you said, would you come up with anything better? Just because you've got lots and lots of money, it's just too easy just to, let's CG that, let's do this, let's do that. But coming up with the creative ideas that this had, as Darren said about the helicopter thing, that was just brilliant.
Look at the stuff we used to write for intros. We had an hour. We had to get it done. We had to think fast, right? Okay. As far as I'm concerned, some of our best work was done when we had very little time to get shit done, right? All I'll say is Cheadle's a war machine.
Yeah. Oh,
right?
God, yes.
Look at that. How close to the knuckle was that, right? Okay, that was us. We were halfway through doing one intro. We stopped it because we didn't feel it was good. And then we had a spark of an idea. Turned out to be much better because we were under pressure.
Yeah.
Restriction.
So what you're basically saying is that our intros are on a par with Stakeland.
Oh, definitely, yeah. No, better. Leagues above it, mate. So we look at it's like you look at what's that down there? Oh, it's Stakeland. I didn't recognise it. It looks so small. Yeah, that's how way above it we are. But
Right. Sorry, Jim, you were going to say something about that.
For me, the analog for this would be World War Z.
Oh, good Lord.
Oh,
right.
Now the book, if you've read the book,
yes,
you could do that very much as a very low budget movie. It's all interviews with people, archived news footage, and it would have been brilliant. Instead, we got thousands of CGI zombies making pyramids out of each other, and utter bullshit start to finish.
Yeah.
Yep.
Every single dollar wasted.
Yes.
Every minute of your time watching that thing wasted. All involved to stick their head in a gas oven now in shame. If you wanted to make that fucking bollocks, fair enough, but save some money and don't call it World War Z because it wasn't.
It wasn't. No, it fucking don't get me started, Jim. Don't get. Just hold me back, Jim. Hold me back, Jim. Hold me back. I've got your back, man. I've got your back. I'm ready to come in there. Let's tag team these fuckers. Let's do it. Come on. Fucking Brad Pitt, we're coming for you.
Nice.
Right.
Just throw a hand grenade in there. Yonkers. There we go. Battle of Yonkers.
I'll hold him, Jim. I'll hold him. Clock him one. Go on. I'll hold him down. You clock him one right now. Go on.
Fucking hell.
And the zombies under the water as well.
Oh.
There goes Jim putting his hobnail size 12s on. There we go.
Fucking hell. Okay.
Make that film. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'll best strike that off the list for next watch. Anyway, that and let's put U571 back on the list. Anyway,
Submarine season.
Submarine season, yeah.
That's the one film I won't be watching. I'm going to feign illness. We're watching U571. Fuck off. You fuck off 7-1. That's what it'll be.
Is that your Blackpool episode, Dow, is it?
That's my Black Ball episode. I won't be here for that one. Thanks very much. No, I'll be having teeth extracted that week. So just to get me out of watching it.
Yeah, your canines so you can sell them at the bar.
Hey, DD.
Right, yo.
DD.
Anyway, right, okay. So yeah, I think you get the general gist of how we feel about it. Before we go any further, let me just do usual. It is the spoilers that come from here because we're going to have to talk about the actual story. But yes, do go watch Stakeland. It's on Freevee, which is the free section or the free to air section of Amazon Prime, which means you get adverts dropped in, which are very odd. In very intense moments, suddenly having a Turkish ad for a male hormone product or something. I couldn't tell. The language wasn't something I understood.
So almost like a zombie dropping from the sky from a helicopter, isn't it?
It was a bit bizarre. It was like I was just watching it, and then all of a sudden, one character turned to the screen, and the music went. And you're thinking, oh God, something's going to happen. And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, there's a guy in a white shirt in a sort of darkened room holding a black bottle up to the window, up to the screen, and it's going, sensual spray. And it's just like, what the fuck am I watching? Is this actually part of the film, or am I having a stroke? So anyway, just bear that in mind. It's on Freevee TV, aka old IMDb TV. Right, so we're going to carry on to the spoilers now, and right after the Lighthouse Foghorn, but you have been warned. So here we are in the spoilers section. We will be speaking about spoilers herewith. All those other words I can't say because I'm clearly drinking too much wine, and yes. Forthwith, that's the word. And right, so let's get into it. Firstly, can I just ask how big was that fucking helicopter? I mean,
I have no idea.
If you got one helicopter and you're dropping what looked like about half a dozen vampires out of a helicopter, was it like some kind of?
It was one of those military ones. You would do.
Yes. Okay.
Like they had in Nam.
The twin
Like
props.
twin
what
props.
do they call them? The thingy
Chinook.
helicopters. Chinooks, yeah.
Chinooks.
Well, even
Okay.
just the ordinary Hueys they had in you think back to like Apocalypse Now, where you literally have a big open side helicopter and you get a squad of Marines in and get them in and out.
Oh, okay. Because I thought the scene itself was actually very well done, and I've since read that it was all done in a single day because they didn't have the money anymore, so they just basically pushed it as far as they could with the time and the effort they had left.
Well, it was something that I was totally not expecting
Mm.
because you're in this post-apocalyptic road movie, and normally it's scaled back. You might be siphoning fuel for a car, and that shows how degraded human society has become. You know, we're really pinching off Peter to pay Paul to get going somewhere.
Yeah.
And then to have a helicopter just rock up and drop stuff. Well, first off, you see it just turn up and lights, and you think, oh, this might be military. This might be something else. This is someone to help you. And then you hear thud, 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 and screaming. And you're like, it takes you a while to work out, oh, this is bad, isn't it? This is a bad thing. And it was a great little twist. It was so good.
Yeah, I did. It was for me. It was probably the standout moment because it was something completely unexpected and really showed a good idea, well executed within the money that they had. And I thought, hats off to you because that's a fucking cracking moment. But let's just get on with it. I mean, the Brotherhood themselves. How did we feel about that? Because, Dow, I'm sure you'll have lots to say about it, but most post-apocalyptic movies or apocalyptic movies have at least one bonkers-ass cult that are just nuts.
Yeah,
and it's
rapists and God knows what else.
Rapists, murderers, and all that sort of thing. And I was just wondering kind of how we felt about them, because of all the things in the film that were fairly well fleshed out and well sort of done and all that kind of stuff, they were kind of the weak link for me.
I would have to agree with that.
They kind of...
I'd go along with that as well. They were the bit that was done with the broad brush.
Yeah, I almost felt unnecessary. Really, they didn't really need to be there. I was just wondering what everyone else thought about them and how they were presented.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah,
I think there's some interesting sort of. I noticed watching it this time round. These sort of various things, kind of in their insignia and their kind of robes, that kind of this will suggest that this was actually kind of grew out of some sort of clan chapter.
Mm.
Oh God, yeah.
And kind of, I don't. It could have made a bit more of the idea that that essentially, that they are this cult who do what they like, and they pretty much worship the vampires as being their liberators, to allow them to be complete arseholes all of the time.
Yeah,
and to have seized a load of land as well, and just run riot basically. And I thought that idea that people would sort of venerate the vampires because you've given us license, you've given us the opportunity to do what we've always been muttering we said we were going to do for years, and now we finally can because society's collapsed.
Yeah,
that's an interesting concept that could have been more fleshed out, I think.
Yeah. I mean, because I think the thing that I keep coming back to with this film for me is that there's lots and lots of ideas, lots of good ideas, absolutely no question there. But it's one of those films which I think it maybe because it came off the back of me watching Skinamarink as well, where a lot of it's about you watching the characters just kind of going about their day, but the conversations that they have aren't really conversations. They're just kind of muttering, only what's necessary to each other at some points.
NCP stuff, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not knocking like Mr. and the kid and all that sort of thing, Martin or whatever his name is, but it's just more the fact that there wasn't like they're sitting in the car and having a conversation about fighting or what they need to do to sort of progress as vampire hunters and cutting off their emotions and all this kind of stuff. It was just kind of like you'd see like a sort of cutaway of the two of them practicing fighting in a field and all this kind of thing. So when you get to the brotherhood and all that kind of thing, to have them just suddenly turn up and just go, we're evil, we're rapists, we're here, we're there, and then all of a sudden, like, the main bad guy sort of just rocks up out of nowhere as a vampire going, I said I'd let them take me, so they've turned me into a different vampire. And it's just like, you've kind of overplayed your hand. You were going for this kind of tone sort of film, this kind of Unforgiven style sort of like, quiet meditative apocalypse, and then all of a sudden it's just like, oh, we got to have a bad guy. Let's get that guy from Fringe and turn him into a vampire.
Well, weirdly, I felt that it didn't feel supernatural up until he rocks back up. Jebediah turned up as the vampire. Because the vampires are so different to what I perceive as a vampire. The person who's very sharply dressed and smooth talking and beautiful skin and just a beautiful creature up until the point where they need blood. And I think that's that. And what's the one with Bill Paxton? that one that we watched.
Near Dark.
Near Dark. That was a good one as well.
Yeah.
But anytime I see like a vampire movie, it is the quintessential good-looking vampire, and oh, look at me, how beautiful I am, blah 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 blah, and then I need blood. This was no, they are just rabid monsters. There was no real turning. I know you had like the feeding moment with Mister out of the back of the van, but really they were just animals. And that was really nice to see. But then as soon as Jebediah turns up and he's like, well, I sacrificed myself to them and now I am the vampire and I can talk as well. And you're like, well, okay, you've crossed the line there. You've kind of broken your rule there. The rule of the vampire is they turn into the vampire, and that's the vampire. They suck your blood and they are this monster. Whereas when he turned up, he's speaking, and now they're like a speaking, learning, different creature to what you had previous.
There was a line that was said about that. Mister says, I've seen many a mutant vampire in my time, but never a thinker. So I don't know if that's kind of a way of explaining that. He was, for me, the worst part of this film, though. That was where the film let itself down, by having him.
Yeah, by having a deliberate villain. Yeah.
He didn't need to come back.
No.
No. I and like I say, I think it's okay. I think it's, I'm not going to kick the film to the curb just for that. But I just, again, it was just a moment where I was just like, oh, you've been trying really hard not to go. Do you know what I mean? Not to go cliche, and then all of a sudden you've gone for, now I have to fight a big bad. It's like, really?
What they could have done with that, I think the first thing is drop the speech. Okay, just don't have it speaking. Right, do it all with the eyes. Basically, focus on so you can see that it's actually working things out, and that it's not just some mindless other vampire. Do it that way. That makes it a lot more deadly when it doesn't sit there and it's going, I believe in the Lord God and I've been doing this, and man, I prayed to God and he brought me back as this thing here. I see, boy. I see.
And then he solved the crime on a sort of like the wealthy industrialist island. Yeah.
Now I think kind of if you come back and as Dan said, he didn't speak, and it was kind of almost he's just got some primordial memory for revenge.
Yeah,
that'd have been better.
Almost like the shark in Jaws 4.
I was going to say like Bub from Day of the Dead,
or like Robert thingy from 28 Weeks Later. When he gets turned and it's as if the memory for the family is so strong he stalks that family. A bit like that, but no, cut the speech, man. Just don't speak. Just have it being a little bit more intelligent than the average vampire. Just do that and have it just one. We don't want armies of things that are thinking from themselves, because it's like fucking zombie movies. When zombies start picking up tools and using them, for me, that's I'm done.
Yep.
I'm lost. And don't go around going brains. No. Absolutely not.
There's no limit. No.
Exactly. No. Yes. No. There's no limit.
Okay. So going beyond that, because that, to me, that was the bit where I was checking out. I'll be honest with you, but what did you think about the sort of flow of the film? Because, as I say, the only other criticism I've got, I know it sounds like I'm ragging on it, but I'm using my criticisms to see what you guys thought of it, really. The episodic nature of the sort of road movie, because when we've seen road movies before, the one that I always go back to is like your, was it Mad Max 2? He's on the road, he gets to a place, he gets a mission, he's got a thing to do. And to me, that is a road movie. It's kind of like there and back again sort of thing.
But it is called Road Warrior as well. So
the clue is there. The clue is in the title.
It's right there. It does
right
exactly what it says on the tin.
It's the road. He's on the road, and he's a warrior, and he is fighting, but not with the road. So I was just wondering what you guys actually thought about the sort of episodic nature of the film, because again, some of it felt like it was being done as like 20-minute minisodes. Not before I knew. I didn't think this. Well, I was thinking something along these lines before I knew that there was webisodes of this stuff. But did you guys get that feeling, or was it all fine for you, or how did you feel about it?
I think the first time I watched it, I felt it was quite episodic. Watching it a second time, I think there is a stronger through line through it. And it is kind of what Mr. trying to do. He's trying to get this kid to be able to be independent and make his own way in the world. And the first time I thought, oh, that was nice, but it sort of just ended. The second time I thought, actually, that was just really nice, the way that sort of felt like it came full circle. That okay, kids found a girl. Look, he's got it.
That's
gone
it.
Out, staked the vamp.
Yeah,
my work here is done. He doesn't actually need me.
Yeah, he's done the job which the parents asked him to do, which is protect him.
Yeah.
Cool. What about you, Elton?
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get this in many movies or every single movie, and I find it keeps my attention. Where you're getting a set piece, you're going through it, it fades to black, and then you're the next day or the next week, and you're like, okay, fine, we've dealt with that bit. That was very nice, and now we're on to the next bit. And I don't know what it was. It kept my attention, so I was pleased with it. I really liked it, actually. It flowed quite well.
Cool. Darren?
Yeah, I didn't mind it at all, if I've got to be honest. Yeah, I thought it was all right.
Okay, because I think the reason I noticed it being so episodic, I think, was because they kept coming back to that town, and then you had the sort of they go out, they find the Brotherhood, they escape from the Brotherhood, they come back to the town, then they go out again, they find the guy locked in the Portaloo being stuck in there, with Santa outside. And then they come back to the town, and then they go out again, and they find, and they rescue Kelly McGillis, and then come back, and then they see, they go to that other town rather, but also the and I've got to say, I apologise for taking the piss out of this, but the how do you know that this lady is potentially the love interest? Well, because she's singing a song, and she's the only one with a spotlight on her face, and everything's in slow-mo, and she's the only one not covered in shit.
Yeah.
And I like how it subverted all that in the end, but the thing was, it was like, right up until that point, you're like, oh, so now we've got episode 3, the love interest.
Yeah.
and it was just, there was just moments where I kind of felt like, and now there'll be credits, and now here's the next episode with the Netflix bar going across the bottom. But as far as the actual world is concerned, I thought that was done really well. I thought, go back to what you were saying before, Jim. It was low budget filmmaking done properly. I think if you got a limited amount of money, like 600 grand, which sounds like a lot because it fucking well is, but it's like, if you're talking about film budgets, it's tiny. But if you got, go on.
You can spend a lot of that money. Well, not spend a lot of that money just driving and having 2 people in a room, basically, but you're driving along. And that works out really well. That's a great way of saving money, apart from the diesel that you're going to be churning through. But it's 2 people in a room or 3 people in a room having a conversation. All you need is pretty good dialogue for it.
Well, I think that was I think that's that's the issue I kept coming up against, was that the characters were all fairly monosyllabic and quiet, and that made sense for the film being more about tone and world building, and that's cool. But it sacrifices a little about character. I didn't feel anything for Mister or any of the characters at all.
Well, Mister's supposed to be this
man with
mysterious,
no name kind of thing,
this mysterious person who just happened to turn up at the right place at the right time and is there to help things along. I quite like the character. Yeah, he's very, very quiet, and you don't get much from it. But
I mean, okay, here's a question for you then, which is a bit more world buildy stuff. The girl in the attic, which I have to say I found quite creepy. The girl in the attic who comes down the stairs, and then Martin's not going to stake her, and she's being all gentle and kind of curious. Do you read that as the vamps evolving, or are you seeing that as just she hadn't taken her shot yet?
Well, that is actually explained.
Is it?
They give her a class.
Scamp.
Yeah, that's right. It's the young vampires. So, that's what that is. It's not, it was one of the standard types.
Right.
As it were.
So when you said about evolving, is that like hiding away? Is that what you're getting at there?
Yeah, I was just thinking sort of more along the lines of, because there was a few nods to various vampire things. I mean, like, for example, the main character being called Martin, for example.
Oh,
which is a Romero thing, isn't it? And then,
is it?
Yeah, because
yeah.
And I was just thinking, I was wondering whether or not they were going to try and push the sort of I Am Legend style. Oh, they're slowly evolving, and the virus is kind of calming down, and the humanity is coming back out again. They're just infected with a need for food that sort of overtakes them a little bit. I was just wondering if anyone else had that vibe. I mean, I know they called them scamps later on, but I was just wondering if anyone else had a theory on that.
Well, I got the impression that maybe she was kind of the rest of the family being killed and eaten, she'd been turned, but then just left there. And she was just kind of holed up there and kind of didn't quite know what she was doing. There's no pack to guide her.
Yeah.
You don't get a handbook, do you?
No. And she just kind of like lying dormant until something comes near, then something like, oh, people. Oh, okay. This is triggering something, but I'm not sure I'm doing kind of yet.
Yeah. I've been told to do something, but I don't know what.
It might also be, if you looked at the way she looked completely different from all the other vampires you've seen, right? She looked fairly sort of straightforward and normal. What if they that's kind of
where I was coming from as well. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, it's the whole thing of the humanity slowly going for them, because they are, most of the ones we see are animals, right? Let's just face it, right? They're like wild, vicious animals, these things. And it's that whole thing of the virus infecting their brain more and more, so that whatever was left of them as human beings is slowly turned out, which is why she was curious and she stuck the hand out like that. Because the other ones would just go for you. So, at the beginning, when they start turning, there's still some kind of humanity left in them, or there's a memory of what it was like. They've got that sort of muscle memory, as it were, for doing certain things. So maybe that's why she was like she was.
Well, I got the impression she sort of made like a nest brought some of her favourite toys and holed up in the attic.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the vampire virus, wherever it changes, it hasn't quite run its full course just yet. And it's almost possibly she's going to sleep and wake up, and when the change is complete, she will be completely ravenous and feral. But it hasn't quite happened yet.
okay. It's just interesting because that was the thing that's what I mean by when I was watching it. I thought it had lots of good ideas because there was lots of moments that he threw up, and I just thought, oh, that's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
And I was kind of expecting him to go further into that. I mean, like the whole stuff with the Brotherhood, which I thought was basically just a constant slam on organized religion. That's what it came to me as. You know, sort of like we're people of God and all this sort of thing, but really they're not. And and then when we got a nun, what's the first thing we do? Oh well, we're going to use her for sex stock, and it's just like that. Don't seem like the right thing for me, but to me, as men of God, quote unquote.
But did they particularly know that she was a?
Well, the sons did. The one who got the cross in the back.
She was still wearing the habit when they were chasing her.
Yeah.
Did she escape from one of their camps, or was it a church? Because she
don't
got.
Know. I genuinely don't know.
No, she was holed up somewhere, and they inveigled their way in, and then ran riot from what she said.
Yeah, and and also how she meets her end. She finally gets to see the scarecrow, or that person's crucified up on the cross, and it's kind of like there's that symbolism of, once again, the thing that brings her down is actually her being confronted with her faith. And she's doing the right.
Then she's going to get eaten by a pack of vampires.
Well, but you know what I mean. She was going to get eaten by a pack of vampires, absolutely, granted. But the thing was, she does the everyone follow me, and she does the self-sacrifice thing, and then she just sort of hits that cross scarecrow character, and then just decides that's enough and stops still.
Well, that was a sign, wasn't it? That was a sign of you've reached the end of the road. Now is your time.
Which is what I'm saying, and it's like, once again, the sort of the religious angle kind of being seen as kind of like the end line, and she's sort of done herself in almost, or that's where it's all gone wrong. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. To me, it seemed like every time there was a sort of nod to religion, this film was like the boot came in.
Well, the Brotherhood thing for me, I thought it was very reminiscent, and I know the game came after this, but like a Far Cry game, Far Cry 5, let's say, and there's a Brotherhood in that, and it is, you're going around this video game and taking down camps, and it is just another person to kill, and everyone in that camp, apart from Jebediah, seemed to be the next person to be killed. It was just another brother. They're all brothers. It's just another brother. But I suppose the trip up was when they actually killed that person for attempted rape, and that turned out to be his son. Was he really his son? I don't know. Maybe he's just thinking, I'm the father, so they're all my sons. I'm in control of everything. But yeah, that was a bit of a mess. But then again, maybe it needed to be fleshed out a little bit more. Maybe they didn't give him the chance to be fleshed out. And
again, I think it's a budget thing as well, as much as anything. But which is a shame, because there is so much stuff in there. Like, I think you could explore it if they had turned it into a proper, like, let's say a 10-episode show, and each episode was an hour long. I don't think that would be a bad thing.
No, I don't think so. I suppose you reach a point where, do we have this Brotherhood all the way through this movie, or do we explore other avenues and then have them turn up at the end? And that is a choice to be made. And so if you choose, okay, well, let's explore it. Okay, fine. Then you dive into it. But then it becomes a Brotherhood set in a vampire wasteland. And I think I think they did the right choice in leaving them for a bit. It's just a bit of a disappointment on how Jebediah came back.
And how quickly he was dispatched. I think that was the thing that undermined it even further. If he just came back and was like, ongoing,
I'm a god, but now you're dead. Not much of a god.
I am a god. Oh, and I've just got a farming tool through the back. Never mind. Don't mind me. I'm merely an inconvenience. Oh my God, he's the bad guy, and he's now been turned into a vampire. He must be really difficult to get rid of. Actually, he's super easy. Barely an inconvenience. Oh, really? Yeah.
He
Wasn't
might be a vampire,
exactly-
but he's still a moron.
Exactly.
So
Wasn't
do you have
exactly-
a religious leader for me? I sure do.
Wasn't exactly Skeletor in his big gold cloak, was it?
No.
Thank
I
you.
am a god.
He-Man. Ha ha.
Anyway, sorry. Anyway, anyone else got anything else to go into? Because otherwise, it's just going to be me doing my little. I didn't like this. I didn't like that. I was just wondering what other people's takes on it was.
I think with Jebediah coming back, I think kind of what they're going for is the idea that it's. I think we've talked about before a little bit. This idea of revenge and things have endless consequences.
Yeah.
Of once that you kick off that kind of feud. I think that's what I was thinking, having Jebediah to sort of to come back. But I think if he was going to return it, they could have played it a different way to be more effective.
Yeah.
But it is kind of, I don't know, you what's the other one? Lost my train of thought completely. But
okay.
I think there's lots of stuff that you could expand in this, but sometimes I think it's better if things aren't expanded on. And you know what I mean? It's that thing of kind of, oh yes, we'd love to see what happened in the Clone Wars. Well, you have now. Are you happy with it? Most people aren't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was far more interesting when we didn't know. We had hints and you could imagine.
Yeah.
And likewise, it is kind of, I'm always sort of, when something has that kind of, oh, we could have done more with that. And it's kind of, yeah, but should they have done though? Would we have been satisfied or not?
Just because you can doesn't mean to say you should. Yeah.
So I think it's one of the, probably the hardest thing in world building and story writing to pull off is knowing how much to reveal, how much to explain, and which bits to leave for the imagination to play in.
Yeah.
And I think they pretty much get the balance right with that, because it's kind of, there's nothing really explained in this movie that the characters, I don't feel, would realistically know. They don't know where the vampires come from. There's no cock and bull. Oh, a space satellite from Venus brought radiation, or a monkey shat its pants in a lab and this will happen. You know what I mean? There's nothing. There's no explanation at all. It's just something fucking happened before anyone could even get a handle on what it was.
Yeah, and by that point it was all over,
Yeah, and there's no kind of pseudoscience explanations of, it's not sunlight, UV rays, so if we get some sun lamps, we can make some cool guns. You know what I mean? Which is always the danger of sort of when you start trying to explain how these things work.
Yeah. Especially when he was like wiping the garlic on the steak, and he said, "Does it work?" And he said, "Well, it can't hurt to do it." You know, sort of thing. It's like, yeah, that's the way to look at it. It's like, will it work? Don't know, but we're going to stab him with this thing anyway, and that works. Can't hurt.
I like the reluctance of Martin as well.
Yeah,
of actually getting into it and not wanting to kill the scamp, the kid.
But he didn't want to kill anything. I mean, even when it was like things were running at him, I guess that was the drive of it. But it was just a case of, surely at some point, self-preservation has to kick in.
Well, I think it did when he had a purpose. Once he met that girl and realised, well, hang on, we've got something here. And then you had Mr. like sneaking around the corner going, yes, my work here is done. I shall disappear into the distance. Yeah, I quite like that. I like that they showed... Some people don't, when you're thrown into a situation that you don't want to be in, you either clam up and go, no, not listening, don't want to be part of this, I just want things back to normal, or you get on with it. And sometimes it takes a little while to work the kinks out and realise, well, this ain't going back to normal, is it? So kind of got to get used to this. And I think that's what we saw with Martin's journey.
Okay. Yeah. You got any thoughts on Martin's journey, Dal?
Martin's journey. He's pretty much standard, character really. Not really that much special about him.
Yeah.
Finally he gets his shit together in the end that he can, disembowel a zombie from 400 yards away. So there's that. I'll tell you what I did like about this film, and that's you did have large communities of people who weren't murderers and whatever,
Yes.
and they gave stuff back. They were honest. Not everybody, like in most post-apocalyptic fiction, everybody suddenly goes out for themselves.
Yes.
Right? But it's the whole thing
one of
of
the failings of the Walking Dead comic. Here's somewhere nice, but actually they're all bastards in one way or another.
Yes.
After
Exactly.
being there a night,
And I think what some writers don't understand is that while society is in place, most people don't think like that. It's only when they're pushed into a corner, right? So it's nice to see when society is kind of restored that need for self-preservation is relaxed, like it will be in today's society, right? And that shows thinking about that. I think whether that's happy accident or not, I don't know, but if somebody's actually thought about that, the more society you have, the less barbaric things are. People don't go around stabbing people in the eye for a packet of biscuits or whatever. No, that's not, because you're comfortable here. People are safe, right? Your life is not threatened. Okay, so yeah, I like that aspect of it.
Cool. Yeah, I'll go along with that. Actually, thinking about it, that the fact that the whole place doesn't, you don't go. That is always one of those things I find with most apocalyptic movies, which is it's like the SpongeBob movie, wasn't it? Where Bikini Bottom loses one thing, and it goes from perfectly fine to the next thing. It's like, I hope you like wearing leather chaps, and it's like the whole town's they're all in leather, and just after one person's lost the recipe for the patties. It's like
it's the fucking starfish with the gimp mask.
Exactly, the whole fucking town's burning down, and it's just like, just because they've lost one recipe for a hamburger, it's just like all gone. And so from that perspective, I quite like the fact that he didn't do that. But that is that plays that cliche perfectly. Of just like, that's it, we're all murderers now. Get on with it.
Another thing as well, when they go to that first town, right, and you've got the sheriff, they stop them and then they move the train out of the way and let them in. In that town, even the sheriff was appreciative of Mr. Skill. And they let him have free run of the shop at one point. So he said, the sheriff said, it's all on me.
Yeah. Which is cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I like that. There is a reward for, they're not just looking around, oh, you disgusting individual going around trying to make the world a better place for all of us by offing these things that have really made it turn to shit.
Yeah.
It's like his skill he's appreciated. He's looked upon by these sort of people as a sort of a hero. He's shown that respect. I thought that was cool.
It certainly made a change. That's that way for the genre. That's for sure.
Indeed, and that a thing as well where they're quite open to bringing one or two people along with them. And like Mister is not this, stoically. We need to keep rioting. We need to get around. No, don't stop and help that person there because that's wrong. Even in that time, the bloke still has morals. He sees Kelly McGillis's character about to get completely assaulted by these two blokes, and he's like, "Nope, we're not having that today."
Yep, that's the end of that.
Yep. And gets out there and does that real sort of, cathartic part of the film. So, especially when he throws the giant cross and it gets that bloke right between the fucking shoulder blades.
Yeah. Splat. Yeah. I like that, actually.
There you go.
Yeah.
But I also like when they got to the next big town, and it's like everyone's having a party and there's a fun fair and it's all great. You see me stop and picks up a little girl and dances with her.
Yeah.
which is kind of, again, as Dan said, that's very against type for that sort of character normally.
Yeah.
Normally they're so hard bitten, then utterly ruthless. They have no time for humanity or, in any way, shape or form. But he still does. He cares.
Yeah.
And he's not so hard bitten that, you know what I mean? He will pick up a little girl and dance with her and just enjoy the joy of the moment still.
Yeah.
That's why he does what he does.
Yeah, I go along with that. And again, he's pardon the phrasing, but he's hard when he needs to be, rather than because it's constantly has to be.
He's not like just psychotically crippled and become a ruthless killing machine. Just he wants to kill vampires for revenge. He's a lot of anger in him, certainly, but he's still in touch with his humanity.
Yeah, but
did you notice also in that second town they went to, they have the attack and everything, right? And instead of it's all gone to hell, John, we're out of here. And everybody splits up and the town's completely. You think the guy who's the head of the town is like, oh, don't worry about this. We'll have this back on form in 5 minutes. This is it. We just got to bang a few this, that, and that, repair this, that, and the other, and they haven't destroyed the town completely.
I said that'll buff out. Don't worry, that'll buff out. No problem.
Yeah, bit of paint.
Yeah, bit of paint, bit of filler. We're all right.
That was it. The fucking plumbers gum that you put on radiators.
Sealant.
Yeah, that's it. That sort of the putty stuff that you put on leaky radiators.
Yeah, bit of caulk. That'll take care of that.
Yeah, but aren't we going to need a lot for Grandad over there? Look, he's not exactly in one piece, is he? Yeah, plumber's mate will do it. That's it. Yeah. Just stick it on him.
Bish bash bosh, sort that out. No problem.
Big ball in the garage over there. There you go.
Nice. Cool. Right. Has anyone got anything additionally to add, or are we okay here? I mean, because I fear we might just start going around in circles unless there's someone's got anything else they really want to get off their chest.
I think it finished at the right time as well. It leaves it well open. And anyone who wants to run with it is more than welcome to run with it. But I think if you'd gone any further, then you would have just been repeating yourself in this film. So I think it ended at the right time.
Yeah, I do agree with that. It doesn't outstay its welcome by any means. And that's refreshing, especially in the world where you can sit down and go, I want to watch a Marvel film. Oh, I'll see you in about 4 hours. Yeah, no, absolutely. I thought that was very cool. And again, it's using a sort of negative as a positive, isn't it? It's not trying to sort of stretch it out for 6 hours and have nothing to fill it. It's like, that's the story I want to told. Thanks very much. Job's a good one. we'll be back for a sequel.
The ending's very deft, I think. It does sort of bring arcs to their expected close, and it's hopeful enough. If you know what I mean, but open enough at the same time.
Yeah.
Is there really new Eden out there? We don't know, but they're going to go and find out, and they'll find it together. Yeah, and that's what matters. We've got each other.
Well, on that note, as perhaps maybe the final note, do we think Eden's there, or is it gone, or is it just a complete disaster, as that shopkeeper kind of alluded to? Do you think?
Well, my knowledge of zombie movies and these types of road things is it was there, and it's probably been overrun, and you'll just move on to the next thing. There'll be another Eden, or you stay in one place and decide, you know what, I'm going to make my own one here.
Yeah. Well, Jim, do you agree?
I think there'll be something there. Depends how far north it is, because Mister says they don't do well in the cold.
No,
it's far enough north. You only have to worry about them in the summer.
Yeah. That goes back to that World War Z and and Walking Dead comics, which is the fact if it's dead, it's got no internal heat, so the fucking thing freezes. Yeah. So
I mean, I think there's something there for them to find.
Yeah. Okay, Darren. No, sorry, Jim. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go on.
But obviously, I think it's one of those things. I think when it's probably been overhyped, and become like kind of legendary. And whenever they become legendary, everyone goes, "Yeah, it's probably not there. It's probably not real."
Nah, yeah,
You know what I mean? But then the answer is, as normal with these things, it's somewhere in between.
yeah. Darren, do you agree with that?
Yeah, I'd like to believe that in this that the place is actually real and it's up and running and that it's got all its defences and it's that whole thing of, you know, they're attempting to retake the world. They're getting organised. They're getting ready to just go out and do what needs to be done. Maybe that could have been a good sequel to this, where they get there, they find it is organised, and the sequel is them doing the mopping up operation of slowly reclaiming the United States back from the, you know, the horde, as it were. Because that could have been some really good sort of action, you know, going into the cities, as they say, and having to clean one of those out. You know, lots of sneaking around buildings and the like.
Okay, cool. I mean, I have to say, I do agree that I don't think there's anything there, but, you know, given how the film tries to sort of play with those tropes and sort of go, actually, you know, it's not quite what you expect. Maybe it is there. But if it isn't there, the one thing would make me wonder, the one thing it does do is it makes me wonder why Last Lady Standing with the crossbow, you know, why she would leave an obviously defensible position that she's obviously been living in for quite a while, all stocked up and quite happy where she is. Why would she suddenly just up sticks to some mythical land that maybe doesn't exist? That was the only bit that kind of really had me kind of go, what? Yeah. you know, if I had a lovely house and I knew that only way that vampires could get in is through one way, and I've got a crossbow, so I've got infinite ammo, and then some bloke or you know significant other rocks up and goes, "Let's go to the magic land in the north," I'd be like, "You're out of your fucking mind." But you know, that's just me.
Clearly got things sorted here, haven't I? So
yeah, exactly.
I'll tell you what,
should
mate.
I move?
You go, right? I'll stay
and
here,
come
right?
back and
You
give me a
come back
shout
and tell me. Yeah, you let me know.
Yeah, let me know how you get on with that.
Yeah, you do. Give us a phone. I haven't got your number. Like I say, give us a phone.
Send a pigeon.
Yeah. Send a pigeon.
Yeah, let us know how you get on.
Yeah, just, you know, answers on the back of a postcard.
to I'm safe in the north.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, why don't you just go on, you big old nut job? Go on.
Yeah.
Get out of here, you scamp.
Send it to me. Send it to me via Kevin Costner in The Postman.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right then. Well, I think unless anyone's got anything further they want to add, we'll wrap it up there.
No, we're good.
All good? Okie dokie. And if anybody else out there has watched Stakeland and thinks that, hey, they should have mentioned this, or should have mentioned that, or should have brought up the fact that the ravages of time have not been kind to Kelly McGillis, or, you know, any of those things, you know, by all means, just send us an email, feedback@blackdogpodcast.com, or join us in the Facebook group, which is facebook.com/groups/The Black Dog Podcast. Right. Well, thank you very much for that suggestion, Jim. It was a very interesting one, and definitely like a cinematic breath mint after Money Plane. So that was good. Right. So let's move on before we get to Pimp's Corner, and it's Elton's choice now. Elton, what have you got for us?
Oh dear!
You've been threatening us. What have you got?
Oh dear!
Okay,
God.
everyone, brace! Everyone, brace!
Oh dear! Whoa! Well, oh dear! How do I do this?
Just rip the Band-Aid off. We'll all call you a cunt and go home.
Yep.
It's as simple as that.
Right. Honestly, this was chosen before what was mentioned in this episode maybe half hour ago.
Oh, not you didn't genuinely want to do fucking Police Academy Mission to Moscow, did you?
No. Oh, no. You go to My 5. Yeah, we have to watch it on Channel 5, My 5. Log
Sonic
in there and type the following letters. Are you ready?
G.I. Joe, Rise of Cobra.
No.
Okay.
You're how do you spell U571?
Oh, U-C-U-N-T.
If I give my review of it right now, does that mean to say I have to take part in next week's podcast? Because I really don't want to watch this. I've got real strong feelings about this one.
Honestly, it was chosen before you said that.
Oh man.
So when I said about like films that don't outstay their welcome and everything, you know,
Have I outstayed my welcome?
Stakeland being available, being like a swift and sure 93 minutes, and now we're going to watch 135 minutes of historical nonsense.
I can choose something else if you want.
Let's
is it my choice next week?
Yeah, it is your choice.
Yeah, because I'm watching a superhero movie based in the fucking Star Trek universe next week. That's what I'm doing. There you go, Elton. Fucking have that. All right, okay. Batman meets the crew of the Enterprise. That's what it'll be. All right. Okay?
X-Men Next Generation.
Exactly. Yes.
Oh, dear.
Right. Okay. So U571, yeah.
Yeah, it's on My 5.
On My 5.
We got to do it at some point.
No, we don't. We really don't. It's like, driving a car off a cliff. We've got to do that some time. No, we fucking haven't. We really don't have to do this. There is no contract with God that says you must watch U571.
Well, actually, signed God.
Yes, thank God. Check that, Spotty.
Can I just say that U571 is the only time I've ever been shushed in a cinema.
Oh dear.
Because there's the bit when they do the torpedo bit, and I'd only just I'd been like sort of neck deep in a VFX job.
Yeah.
And I'd come and sat down and I was watching this and it was like everyone else is into it, and then this torpedo moment happens, and the boat that sinks through that torpedo stops so suddenly and sinks so quickly, and the waves are moving so slowly. I went, that looks like it's been filmed in a fucking bath. And then 3 people went, shh.
It's got John Bon Jovi in this, isn't it?
Yeah, he does go down in a blaze of glory.
I was going to say,
has his face blown off, doesn't he, on fire or something?
So it's not a bit where he goes, and I wondered, should I surface or dive? No, not at all.
But I think you've got the intro duties down.
Oh, fucking hell! It's all the same.
And it's got that guy from Event Horizon as well. The was it Baby Bear or whatever it is? The geezer with the ears so big that he looks like a wingnut.
You know what? Right? Okay, that's the connection.
Mm-hmm.
But right? Okay, I understand there. Oh, fucking hell! Things suddenly make sense because that bloke was in a fucking Bon Jovi music video.
Was he?
Yes, he fucking was. Right? It's I think it's Always by Bon Jovi. Right? And it's all about this. Yeah, he was in that. He played a right. He had a right fucking cock in that video as well. Right? He really. I think it was.
Wow.
He was a fucking cock in that video. Or is he? No, actually, he's the one. No, he does play a cock. Yes, he plays a narcissistic fuckwit, right? In this Bon Jovi video, who fucks around, fucking does the dirty on his girlfriend. His girlfriend goes off and finds someone who treats her a lot better, right? And then he fucking, he burns down the bloke's flat and then walks off like he thinks he's the fucking hero. And there we go. Wanted narcissism, dead or alive.
Well,
That's your fucking, you shithead. It's just, yeah, I know it wasn't me. I'm the wronged party. Yeah, I am. Yeah, no. Let's not acknowledge the reason why we got to this point in the fucking story in the first fucking place, right? Because of me not keeping it in me fucking pants. Yeah.
Right.
Oh look, I've burnt his ass down. Oh look, see, I'm the hero. Yes. What up for the good guys?
Right.
You fucking insult, twat twizzle.
Oh, we haven't even watched the film yet.
Jesus H. Christ Almighty! Because of you, 571, we got that video. Jesus, it's just a shitty gift that gives more shitty gifts. That's what it is.
Right.
Hell, it's like a hydra. You chop one fucking head off it, and another fucking shitbox grows in its fucking place.
Right.
A shitbox hydra. That's it. Right? That's what that fucking thing is.
Well, I think next week is promising to be quite the episode. I think you'll agree, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh yes.
Oh well, there
Apart
you
from
go.
that, I'm really looking forward to watching it.
I was going to say, who's seen this film? Who's looking...
Would it surprise you to say I haven't?
No.
There you go.
Oh, you haven't?
No, I haven't.
You might
no.
enjoy it.
No, Elton. I really have. There is a reason why I won't watch this film. It really is.
You haven't actually watched it?
No, I've never watched this film, and there's a good reason for it.
Hold on, you
okay.
just went on a 20-minute rant
Yeah.
for a film you haven't actually seen.
Yeah. And would you like to know why I've never watched this film?
Or should we save this for next week?
Yeah, I was
when
gonna
you've
say,
watched this film.
Okay,
was
it's a
gonna say.
historical point of conjecture here, right?
Conjecture or...
Yeah, because it's an American crew doing something that a crew from fucking Portsmouth in England actually did. And that was copping hold of the fucking Enigma machine. That's what this film is about, right? Apparently the Americans did it, which they fucking didn't.
Right.
There's only so much of a rewrite of history I'll take.
There's only so much history
has
abuse
crossed the
that I'm
line.
willing to tolerate. Marjorie,
crossed-
we are
yeah.
leaving.
This
I'm terribly sorry. I should have rung my bell.
blatantly crosses that fucking line.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Disrespectful piece of shit.
Jim, have you seen this film?
I've not, funnily enough.
Well, I feel like you have now.
I do. I'm going to have deja vu watching it next week.
Yeah, it's going to be like being right in the
It
room.
won't be the drugs for a change.
Okay, are you looking forward to seeing it, Jim?
I think my best answer is I'm very glad I've still got some liquid morphine.
Nice.
That's a very diplomatic answer. It really is.
So,
I'm really
Practical
worried.
answer. Morphine, tramadol, I can get through this.
yeah.
Gnawing my own leg off.
I'm looking forward to seeing what other technical and historical inaccuracies are served upon us. I shall be Wikipediaing this fucker, and I shall be going to the History fucking Channel site. I shall be going everywhere. I shall be looking up every single fucking nuance
Well,
of this film. And I go, right, I've got some things that were wrong with this. And he pulls out a great big fucking scroll. There we go. Boom.
well, like I say, for what it's worth, it nearly got me chucked out of a cinema. I thought everyone had seen the film. That's why I mentioned the scene. But like I say, there's a boat that gets hit with a torpedo, which shouldn't surprise anyone in a submarine movie. But when it does, the boat just literally comes to a grinding halt, and it's like it looks like a Jerry Anderson production. It just goes stop and sink, and it's just like no. I'm no master of naval warfare, but I know how inertia works. Anyway. Elton, are you looking forward to watching this? I mean, you picked it.
I have seen this before. I think I saw it very close to its release on DVD. I would imagine. No, 2000. It might have even been VHS.
Mm-hmm.
I have seen it once before. I think I enjoyed it, but yeah, just for what it was. But I've only seen it once, so I cannot remember a single thing, really.
I'm hoping that's what I'll be after I watch the film. I'll be like, I don't remember a single thing.
You haven't seen it. You might enjoy it. Or are you going to come into it going, I really enjoyed that, but bollocks, I did a whole thing last week. I need to live up to this now.
Do you know what? I will be honest, but I won't be calling it U571, right? I won't be calling that at all. I'll be calling it Uncle Bon Jovi's fucking sea cruise extravaganza. That's what I'll be calling. Yeah, exactly.
Like I say, I think I've ruined that as well. You don't have to worry about Bon Jovi. Seriously.
No, he's out of it in 2 seconds, is he? Is that all
thing,
they could afford?
The only thing shorter than Bon Jovi's appearance in this film is actually Bon Jovi himself.
I've got. Hold on. Right, so let's see. Let's Google this now. How long?
For goodness sake!
Is Bon Jovi?
I didn't expect it to cause this problem.
I was going to say.
U5.
You guys ain't gonna like me after the last two movies. Jeez.
Hey, don't worry. I've done Money Plane, mate, and you haven't seen what I've got lined up afterwards. I've got an absolute cracker lined up afterwards. I haven't even seen it, but I've got it lined up. Go on.
It doesn't actually say.
No,
it doesn't actually say. It doesn't tell me.
I think the phrase "extended cameo" is probably the best phrase.
Because it's got here 1 hour 56 minutes, but I think that's the whole running time of the film.
No, he's not in it for.
What's that? 0.62 seconds.
It ain't far off.
That's
it really ain't.
What's he in it for?
It ain't really. He's in it as a background character, and then he's not in it at all. Spoilers. Anyway, right. Let's leave it there.
Chief Chirper's got a longer running timing.
Can I just?
Can we do Chief Chirper the movie?
I've just spotted something here. I've just seen something here. Right? Okay. It's an article by the Guardian, and it's got U571. You give historical films a bad name.
Well, now it's all there on the plate for you, mate. You can go hog wild with an intro if you like.
Do you know what?
It's got slippery when wet as well. So
slippery when wet.
Oh man, yes. It just writes itself, really, doesn't it? I'll tell you what. It's actually just spoilt his death, Bon Jovi's death for me in the fucking tagline of this article.
Yeah. Yeah, and you've just spoilt it for Jim by telling him that he dies.
No, we already know he dies. You've just said he got his face burnt off.
Oh yeah, I'm deflecting. I'm sorry.
I don't think you're spoiling anything in this movie.
No, not really. It's all made up. It's all made up. Right before
we're going to rescue Alan Turing.
Apparently, this thing they're talking about it was cut from the movie. This death that he was put through, you don't actually get to see it.
I feel like we're doing it now, aren't we?
No. This version, no. What actually happens to him? Right?
Eaten by Chief Chirper?
No.
Chirper chops.
What's this? Oh man, I've just this 2000 film about a US submarine's attempt to steal an Enigma machine from a German U-boat was so inaccurate it was damned by the UK Parliament as an effort to as an affront to real sailors, and to make matters worse, it stars John Bon Jovi.
Right. I'll tell you what. If we get to the end of this next week and you sit there and say, "Oh, I quite liked it," I'm going to cut you off and then send you a big dog turd through the fucking post after all this.
No. It says here the only honest thing about U571 is its tagline: 9 men are about to change history. Yeah. Right.
Well, there you go. So, ladies and gentlemen, while Darren froths for the next 72 hours until he actually sees the film and then just gets bored by it, and cheers for Bon Jovi's inevitable demise, we'll be off. But before we go, we'll go to the Pimp's Corner. Jim, do you want to tell us what's going on here at Gloria? Don't tell us U571, for fuck's sake. I can't do that again.
No. This week I've just released an episode looking at some ghosted gazetteers,
Mm.
and the first part of a 3-part reading of a Robert E. Howard novella.
Mm-hmm.
And also, me and Elton took the shuttle flight to the Great Derelict to talk to Andy about alternative history.
Yes.
Which
very
is
good
out
it was
now,
too.
unless you're in an alternative trouser leg of time, which we're talking about U571.
Yeah, and it's historical accuracy.
Meanwhile, in a parallel universe.
Meanwhile, in a parallel universe, Darren's got a big U571 poster in his wall, in his house.
I'm sorry, I'm just reading bits of this fucking
Right
review.
next to Batman Ninja.
Yeah, Batman fucking Ninja. That
Right.
didn't have Bon Jovi in it, unfortunately.
You sure?
I could check it out again. I'll have a look at the cast list. Let's IMDb that fucker, shall we? Here we go.
No. Let's not. Let's not. Jesus Christ, Elton. While he's looking up Batman Ninja,
Was Bon Jovi in
Batman
Batman
Ninja?
Ninja?
You can catch me on Shonky Lab talking about nuclear war and Haribo. You're more than welcome. That's it.
Popping candy for Putin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. If you had come up with Putin's popping candy, I think you might have been onto something.
That would have worked, yeah.
Yep, Putin's
Chief
popper.
Chirper's chewing gum.
Yep, Chief Chirper's chewing gum. Mr. Putin's poppers. Is Chief Chirper the bloke from Star Wars? Have we finally cracked it? Is that it? Was that it all along?
Yep.
Chief fucking Chirper.
Chief Chirper.
Chief Chirper.
One of the few Ewok figures they actually released. Chief fucking Chirper. We look at that thinking, whoa, what's this? What part does this play in this up and coming Star Wars film?
Let's see if he has a longer running time in Return of the Jedi than Bon Jovi does in U571.
There you go. The Chief Chirper scale.
Yeah. Is it longer than Chief Chirper or shorter than Chief Chirper?
I don't know. I've never seen Chief Chirper naked, if I'm honest. Let's be honest. Those arboreal trees, can get quite cold at night. So let's not get too carried away. Let's not judge a chief by his foliage.
By his chirper.
By his chirper.
By his chirper chup. Right.
We have another scale.
Oh
Brilliant.
God, the Chief Chirper scale. Right. Yeah. Well, he was on it long enough to warrant a figure. That's all you got to know.
Yep.
Yeah. But then so was Reese Yees, and he was only in it for about 10 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anyway, right. I'm going to stop there. Darren, are you all right?
Yes.
Have you recovered?
I am. I'm just having a laugh at this Guardian review of U571. And it gets about halfway down, and the actual person writing it can't stop making John Bon Jovi puns.
Save it for next week.
I would say keep the powder dry, but I think
The
you
powder's
already-
well and truly wet now.
I was going to say
Submerged.
it's on fucking fire. I think. Right. Well, I think we'll wrap it up there. This is going to go on long into the green room, I suspect.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you very much for listening. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Darren. Thank you, Elton.
No problem.
And as ever, like I say, check out Stakeland. It's on Amazon Prime, and we'll be back next week for U571, a film which has been long hated but not actually watched by the people who hate it. And we'll see you all next week to see if that hate is justified. Until then, take care. Tatty bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Ta-da.
Periscope up. Periscope up.
Money plane.
Good night.
There's a voice that keeps on calling me. Down the road, it's where I'll always be. Every stop I make a new friend. Can't stay for long, just turn around and I'm gone again. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow, I'll just keep moving on.
Get out of the booth, Jack.
No, I like it in here.